Have you ever wondered why we, Filipinos, have a national language that unites us all, or who fought tooth and nail for our country's freedom on the world stage? Today, we're diving deep into the life of a true giant of Philippine history, a man whose legacy is etched into the very soul of our nation. He was a statesman, a revolutionary, a hero, and the architect of the Filipino identity. This is the incredible story of Manuel El Quezon. Our journey begins in the small, coastal town of Baler, Tajabas na Aurora Provençal, August 19th, 1878. Born to a schoolteacher and a rice farmer, young Manuel's beginnings were humble. But, ibanten, a fire burned within him. He was brilliant, ambitious, and fiercely patriotic. Imagine this young boy from a remote town, dreaming of a future where his people were free and sovereign. He pursued law at the University of Santo Tomas, but his studies were cut short by the Philippine-American War. He didn't just sit on the sidelines. He joined the fight as an aide to Emilio Aguinaldo, risking his life for the cause of independence. This early experience in battle shaped the man he would become, a fighter not just with a weapon, but with words, wit, and unwavering determination. After the war, Quezon didn't give up. He laid down his arms, but picked up his law books, eventually becoming a top-notch lawyer. But his heart was never far from public service. He entered politics, quickly rising through the ranks from a provincial fiscal to the governor of Tayab. His charisma was undeniable. He could connect with anyone, from the poorest farmer to the most powerful official. His political journey was a masterclass in strategy and passion. He became the first ever majority floor leader of the Philippine Assembly and then our resident commissioner in Washington, D.C. Picture this: a Filipino, standing before the U.S. Congress, eloquently and passionately arguing for his country's right to self. It was there he achieved one of his greatest triumphs, the passage of the Jones Law in 1916, which promised the Philippines eventual independence. This was a monumental step, a beacon of hope for millions of Filipinos, and Quezon was the man who made it happen. His return to the Philippines was met with celebration. He was elected president of the Philippine Senate, a position he held for an incredible 19 years. As Senate president, he was the most powerful Filipino politician of his time, a kingmaker who shaped the country's political landscape. But his ultimate goal remained clear: full and complete independence. The journey was fraught with political battles, not just with American leaders, but with his own rivals, like Sergio Esmiga. Their political rivalry was legendary, a clash of titans. But it was also a testament to the vibrant and passionate democratic spirit that Quezon himself helped foster. Through debates, political maneuvering, and sheer force of will, he championed the cause of freedom, leading to the Tidings-McDuffie Act of 1934. This law finally set a concrete date for Philippine independence and paved the way for the creation of the Philippine Commonwealth. And so, in 1935, Manuel El Quezon made history, becoming the first president of the Commonwealth of the Philippines. From a small town in Baler to the grand halls of Malacagang Palaswat, a journey. As president, he faced enormous challenges. He had to build a nation from the ground up, establish a government, strengthen the economy, and prepare the country for its eventual independence. He wasn't just a politician, he was a nation builder. He championed social justice, implementing programs to protect laborers and tenants. He believed in a government that cared for its people, famously saying, "My loyalty to my party ends where my loyalty to my country begins." But perhaps one of his most enduring legacies, the one we experience every single day, is his role as the MNNG Wikang Pambansa, or the father of the national language. Quezon dreamt of a Philippines united not just by territory, but by a common tongue. He knew that for us to have a true Filipino identity, we needed a language that was our own. It was a controversial move, with many regional languages vying for the top spot. But Quezon stood firm. He envisioned a future where a child from Luzon could speak to a child from Mindanao, not in English or Spanish, but in Filipino. In 1937, he proclaimed the national language of the Philippines, based on Tagalog. It was a bold, visionary step that has shaped our national identity and culture in profound ways. Every time we speak Filipino, we are living out a part of Quezon's dream. Beyond the public persona of the powerful statesman was a man of deep conviction and surprising compassion. During one of history's darkest hours, as the Holocaust loomed over Europe, President Quezon made a courageous and humanitarian decision. He established an open-door policy, allowing Jewish refugees fleeing persecution to find a safe haven in the Philippines. At a time when many countries were closing their borders, Quezon opened ours. He personally oversaw the project, helping to save over 1,000 lives. It was a quiet act of heroism, a moment that revealed the true depth of his character, a leader who fought not just for his own people, but for humanity itself. However, Quezon's presidency was not without its trials. The looming threat of war in the Pacific cast a dark shadow over the Commonwealth. When World War II finally reached our shores, Quezon's leadership was tested like never before. He stood with his people during the initial invasion, broadcasting messages of hope and defiance from the tunnels of Corregidor. Imagine the weight on his shoulders, leading a nation in exile as his homeland was being ravaged by war. He was eventually evacuated to the United States to establish a government in exile, where he tirelessly worked to ensure the Philippines would not be forgotten by the Allied forces. Sadly, Manuel Quezon would not live to see the dawn of the independence he fought for his entire life. He passed away in Saranac Lake, New York, in 1944, a victim of tuberculosis, the disease that had plagued him for years. He died a world away from the country he loved so dearly, his heart broken by its suffering, but his spirit for its freedom undiminished. His journey was one of incredible triumphs and heart-wrenching trials, of political battles and personal struggles. He was a complex man, fiery, ambitious, sometimes controversial, but always, undeniably, a patriot. Today, the legacy of Manuel Quezon is all around us. It's in the flag that flies freely over Malaccagang, in the language that connects our islands, and in the democratic ideals we strive to uphold. He was a pioneer, a revolutionary, and a true architect of the Filipino nation. He wasn't perfect. No hero is, but his love for the Philippines was absolute. He gave his life to the dream of a free, sovereign, and united Filipino people. His story is not just a chapter in a history book. It's the story of our journey as a nation, a story of struggle, hope, and the enduring power of the Filipino spirit. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the life of the great Manuel Quezon. If you found this story as inspiring as I do, please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into our nation's incredible history. Until next time, stay curious and proud of our heritage.